Dímelo, mi gente. What's going on? Hackensack Meridian Health, Stage 17. We're back at it again. Today, we are sitting not with one, not with two, but three beautiful human beings on one of your favorite shows on OWN. How can you answer, what is love? What is your definition of love? I know they've been answering it left and right. But you guys could comment below, yeah, because we're on Facebook Live. Make sure you share, care, subscribe, and let everybody know how great of a time that you have watching our Facebook Live. But welcome, everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Michelle, Will, and Mara. Yes. I got it right?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah,
you got it right.
I've been saying this like every couple minutes. Michelle, Mara, Will, Michelle, Mara. I was like going back and forth. I saw you guys earlier today on Wendy. You guys are just moving.
Yes, we're in here. We're talking about love. Happy that the audience is responding and want to know more. So happy to be here.
Yeah,
Thanks
and I just asked you where your husband was, and he working. Y'all stay working. I'm
Stay blessed. We say this
and highly favored.
Highly favored. It's funny, just on my not that I'm gonna show everybody, but literally if you look at our text messaging back in the last couple of days, it'll just say, babe, we are blessed. We are blessed. I'm like, we are. And yes, he's in Atlanta right now, starting season 2 of Black Lightning. He just finished the pilot. It's funny because you'll see in the show, Yasir often likes to pause, like even in the pilot, he's like, hey, I finished the ending of my script. We're going to a concert. We even took a moment on FaceTime to celebrate the end of his, the wrap of the season 2 premiere episode. So he's down there doing his thing, and I'm holding it down at home and regrouping and finishing up the show, getting it to air.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I do have to tell you guys right now, if you go to radio1039ny.com, register to win Black Lightning. We got that season on there for Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm handling business. I'm working like y'all right here.
Keeping it a lot familiar.
They just have. Okay, sorry, but. We're going to Comic-Con next week.
San Diego. I'm dying to go. Can I go in your suitcase?
God.
Can I go in your suitcase? Girl, I make a great assistant.
We got a Lego, y'all.
Yes.
I was so excited. I was like, ooh, we got a... Do you know how much time I have spent in the Lego store with my kids? And I cannot wait to go to see a Black Lightning Lego. Anyway, I'm excited.
No, that's huge to be excited. Who could say that they got a Lego? I don't even got a Barbie. I've never even had a Barbie before. So that's crazy for me. So how about you, Sue? What are you guys blessed about and highly favored right now?
I'm blessed to be in here with you.
Hallelujah. Yes. Ain't God good? Ain't he good?
Ain't he good?
Oh, man.
Too good to say that he good.
No, but like it was really like you guys are on a great show that everyone is in love with. And this is, I mean, not your first time, but first time really being like from writer to front lead, right? Or no?
Yeah. I mean, I've been acting for a while, but this was the opportunity to showcase more of the depths that I do have. And I've just been enjoying the ride. Sitting next to this woman, you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to laugh a lot. You know what I'm saying? And when you're working, you're going to cry a lot. Just going to give you everything.
Yeah, everything. And she's going to make you cut your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like everybody, since I've been hearing that you guys were coming, I've been watching interviews, and the focus is on you. How major was it that you had, for you to cut the hair, that everybody's focused on just the hair?
Yeah, I think people are just attached to hair, and so, because my hair was pretty long. It's kind of funny because I had...
Down here.
and I'd never gone this short before. But it was actually a blessing. I wanted a change. I needed a change. And so a gift came with the thing that I already desired, an opportunity. And then another opportunity came to just start fresh. So it was great. And it was so funny because be careful what you say. Because for years, I think it was probably like 3 years ago or something. It's our friend Elena. She's like, girl, you would rock a pixie curly shortcut. And people in college had told me I had to put a wig on for a show I was in that was a short, curly pixie cut, kind of like what I had in the show. And I would be like, I cut it for a role. I ain't cutting my hair, but I'll cut it for a role. I would literally joke about that. And then, of course, I'm like, okay. When she asked me, I was like, oh, yeah, well. You're going to cut your hair.
Please, no. I
had to get a haircut too, though.
But they don't mean nothing. You a man.
Yeah. I had a whole full beard. And Mara was like, yeah, we getting rid of that beard.
Yeah, but look, it
Well,
looks
there's so
good.
much attached to Lala and Black
that was
Lightning.
good.
Plus, in the '90s, men weren't wearing the full beard as much. It was just coming about. So we really want to be authentic to the time period. We did not want to cut any corners on the details of the show. We wanted to put that kind of love into the show too because it translates. So he looked very '97.
And good at
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Good
good
at it. You're like-
Appreciate
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome, sir. Now, Mara, you are the queen of amor, the queen of love. I mean, from being Mary Jane you made that movie about me. I know. You could cut a check later. I'm not
I'll
a
hit you with that.
newscaster because I cried from beginning to end. That was my show. Of course, you have Girlfriend. You had the game. The game I like because I was an athlete. But I'm not an athlete wife. I can't deal with none of that drama and that but being Mary Jane was my thing. Don't you feel pressure being the queen of love, being the queen of everything us? Because you speak for us when it comes to love.
Wow, that was a lot. I'm going to take that in, and I'm going to say thank you for that. It's funny you would mention that part of my process as a writer, as an artist, that you can get attached to that generosity and you want to please. And there's times when I literally have to say, no, you have to do the art, tell the story. Because if you're attached to the pleasing, that's not authentic. What is the story? So even in going into Love Is, I had to find even the detachment between Mara and Salim and Nuri and Yasir. You got to get into what are we saying? What is the purpose of telling the story? As opposed to just, then this happened, and this happened, and this happened, and then this funny thing, and then this dramatic thing. What is it that we're saying through telling the story? And so that creates an opportunity for me to, Salim and I call it woodshedding. And so I have to separate from even the compliments and the queen. If you said it, I'm on it. But if I'm going to be that, I still have to take that off and pick up the pen and do the work. And it's a nervous thing because as you sort of put hit after hit after hit, you like swinging big and the more you're out there, you just don't want to fall. You don't. And then
It don't feel good.
And so I also accept that vulnerability and pray through it and also let that go. The fear of not doing well and the fear of just only writing to be making everybody happy. I let all of that go to get to the work. And I really do love getting lost in the work. So hopefully what people are feeling is really my love of what it is that I do. And I love it. And I go in it trying to give my all. And I do feel as though this show, Love Is my best work. It pushed me beyond some fears to direct. No going back. I've wanted to direct for a long, long time. And only in this process that I remember myself back in 96 and 97. Before Salim Akil came in my life, who was an amazing director that I got intimidated by. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is you watch somebody do their work and that's part of me falling in love with him. Like, dang, I don't know if I can do that. And lately he's like, more recently, of course you're not going to do it like me. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm supposed to have my own voice. But I was so relying on him to help tell my story. But I remembered there was a Mara in 96, 97 that was fearless about the idea of directing, was open to it. But that was before you have any success. Mm-hmm. But now that you're successful and then put yourself out there as director, I didn't want to fail at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I was accomplished in another area. But going through that has been liberating, and I hope to do more and more of it.
Oh, you will. I ain't even worried. And if you need an extra, I'm here, girl,
Okay,
right
gotcha.
here. I'm not cutting my hair though, because it takes a while to get to this right here. But you came up with Love Is. You said you pray on everything, and we all pray on our dreams.
Right.
What was your prayer to start this? Like, what were you saying to God at that moment? Like, God, should I do this? Should I not? I'm about to put my love on display because this is all about you and your husband's story. Am I correct?
It's interesting. I never thought to do this story. This was asked of me. So at first, it's very practically, it was coming from the audience that I was having a conversation with, like on Instagram, people who followed me or a panel. asking literally, how are you doing it, Almar? Write a book. And I'm saying, hey, listen, anybody got time for that? Maybe it's a TV show. So what was happening was, and even when we got at Warner Brothers, we came in with, I have a long list of ideas that I want to do. And actually, I had this as an idea, but it was not my passion project. I had 3 more shows in me that I more passionately want to tell, still want to tell them. But it was actually the executives, oh, well, Mara, what about that story? I was like, yeah, but what about this other one? Like, I can do that, but what about this one? But the more, in a meditation once, I was like, well, maybe I'm being called to do it. So your question was, how did I begin it? I accepted that something was calling me to do it. You know, being Mary Jane was called too.
For real?
When I was working on Girlfriends, I would have visits by this character, and she lived in the house that Mary Jane lived. There was Post-its everywhere. And the character kept visiting me, and I would just take notes. And eventually, when I got to BET and sat with Laretha Jones, and she says, what do you want to do? I said, well, and I was pitching all these other projects. Funny story. And then Celine goes, what about that one you really want to do? And I was like, no, don't want to do it. Because if we can't do it right, I don't really want to do it. And we were talking about half hour, and this was an hour. And they were like, tell me more about it. And I was like, okay, but if we can't do it like this, then I don't want to do it. I just kept, and so again, I'm realizing that some things are being called, and I'm answering the call. So that was the first, so to answer your question, I answered the call. And then it starts to, then I separate myself from it. What are the things in our story that makes it interesting and worth telling? And if I can't say something with it, then it doesn't work. But then what can I say with it? And what I do want to say is that love is achievable if you define it and design it for yourself. We do not want this show or me and Salim's specific love story to be a blueprint for anyone.
Oh, you know it is, though.
But
Everybody
if you see something, take it. But what it's supposed to give permission to go on and do it your way. We went left. Like at the time in the 90s, all the songs, if you hear like Play On, Play It, all that kind of stuff, you know, like we were talking about this independent woman, the word, the idea that women were the breadwinner was just becoming language for white women. And then but as Black women, we were always sort of holding things down. And so this idea of this independent woman, well, in that time, for you to let the woman in the light was not the thing to do as a man. Even men to this day tell Slim, I don't know how you let Mara be out there like that. I don't know if I'm strong enough for Mara to be out like that. Well, Salim's, his worth, his value is not in where I stand in my own light. It's about his light and where he's comfortable. And he loves me and wants the best for me. So go, baby, go. So he was already defining, separate from the pack, so to speak, what was a man's role or toward his woman and her success. Like, he's supportive, he was there. And even though, I know it's expressed in the first season of our courtship, I was more financially solvent than he was. He still stood as a man. Mm-hmm. Whether the world saw him that way or not, he was not concerned with. He was concerned with himself. So even that definition of his own manhood is part of what I'm hoping people will get from the show, that you have to define this journey for yourself. And if you see something in our story you like, use it. If not, keep it moving.
Yeah. Me and my homegirls were talking about it because I'm going on a cruise this week. By the time they watch it, I don't know, but I'll probably be back. And me and my boyfriend are gonna watch it on the cruise. And everybody's like, be careful because it can make or break you two together because y'all gonna compare each other. Like, you're married, you're playing her husband. Loosely, or is it?
They're not married yet.
Well, no, but I mean, but yes, you're playing it. So
they kiss on each other a lot.
Yeah.
In the show, I'm like, they tired of kissing on each other. Yeah. Courtship is like that.
Yeah, no, but the courtship is supposed to be like that. Then later it could just fizzle in and you bring it right back up. How much of it do you take home with you and your wife at home?
I don't know. And those things I don't really think about when I'm doing it.
You drop it at home? You drop it in the stage and then you just go home?
No, I
will.
will. I might, if there's sexual energy on with me and Nuri, then I'll relieve myself with my wife at home. You know what I'm saying? But
keeping it real.
You gotta,
right here.
But as far as like, when I'm home, I'm home. I try to be home. I don't think you turn off what you're doing until you're outside of it. And then even when you're outside of it, even like this, I'm still in it. Like I'm more quiet when I'm around them because now I get to grab more of Salim when I'm with Mara. So I'm a little more reserved than I would normally be if I'm not doing this because I'm still taking notes. I'm still gathering information. So when I'm doing Love Is, I'm in it. When I'm not doing it, then I check myself out of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long you been married?
9 months now.
What?
Yeah.
For real? Oh, newlywed.
That's like I thought about it just now. It's like when the writer's room, Mara said, "What's your wife's name?" I said, Rondi. She said, "No, look, I'm gonna need you to answer that question a lot quicker." You know, our relationship moved so fast at the time. It's like, as I'm getting married, I'm still learning her.
Yeah.
You know, so all these things were happening. As I'm doing Black Lightning, I'm getting married, and then I go do Love Is. So things haven't really stopped.
Yeah.
You know, since.
How long were you dating beforehand?
Maybe 2 years, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
good. Because
yeah.
I was about to pick your brain. I've been dating my boyfriend for a year, and I want to know if it's going to be the one. If I should ask, because I'm like you. You asked your husband.
I did ask my husband.
And I asked him, I told him that we're gonna get married.
Right.
And I'm like, I know I'm gonna ask you, so I'm just like, when should I ask him? Because I want to ask him on the cruise.
well, here's it. Well, now he knows. But
No, he ain't. No, don't worry, he working. He can't watch. We good.
say what?
We good.
But that's again, you're defining it for yourself. That's my thing. Is like that we know, and I think when we come outside of that quiet space, we're faced with all of these ideas of what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to be.
'Cause we're
and
taught
then yes. And so that was what you have to battle through to hear your own voice, to chart your own course, and you got to trust it. And people say, well, what if it's wrong? Well, then if you know it's wrong, then you'll also get out of it in a healthy way. And I guess I'm not be afraid of that. It's almost like the idea of death is coming, so you better live.
Did you buy him a ring?
No. Well,
Are we gonna see this?
are we gonna see? Yes, you're gonna see this. Yes, and you'll see the uniqueness of how the proposal came. It was very, like a lot of. We just kept leaping. We kept doing big leaps in the moment. We were just very present in the moment, and we were. I think Nuri sometimes. I think people say she might be a little naive. I certainly was told that. But I actually, in reflection, I see how brave Nuri is. And that's a bravery for a woman to go after what they want and not waiting around for someone to ask them. If you want something and you want it, why not? Why can't you ask him? If you believe in a relationship of equality and parity, why can't you ask him? Yeah. If that's what you want. Now, that may shake out one way, and we have to be ready for that. And you will be ready for that. It will be euphoric, or it could be very painful, but you'll get past that pain knowing that, okay, it ain't him.
And somebody else is
And
on the way.
somebody's on the way. You just made room, a one step closer to who it's supposed to be. That's how I feel.
Are you ready to do the proposal?
Oh.
You mean
In the TV show?
the
No,
show?
I'm not talking about. No, on TV. No. I'm talking to Nori. Sorry.
but not how. You can't say how.
No, don't tell me how.
Okay.
But mentally.
Okay, yeah.
But that's a tent pole that we're going to share. Yes.
Yeah, so it does happen. But I didn't
How
know
crazy
if I
is your
should say it
boss is
happened.
right next to you? You can't even say nothing. You'd be like, oh, she ain't here. She might not listen to this interview. She's right next to you today.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so it already happened.
Oh, okay. But you were good, right? Did you talk to yourself in the mirror? Like, how do you prepare yourself to play her? And she right there telling you, cut? No, that's not how I said it that day.
Well, thank God she did not say it like that.
You don't know. She might be in a bad mood one day. She'd be like, no, that's not how I did it. Rewind.
No.
Take 30. Let's go. Just kidding.
No, she would just. I don't know if I want to put you on blast. No, this is what's great about Mara. She's so kind, but you know when she's serious because she'll like blink her eyes and be like, well.
When Mara give you that triple blink, you in trouble. 2 blinks,
Sounded like
you right here.
the
But the
devil
triple
wears
blink,
Prada.
You're
it's a
done.
wrap.
So.
Is that what y'all been talking about?
Yeah, so I tried to put it in, I think, a couple times, but so I just knew, okay. But see, that's the thing that's great about, that I love being about an actor is that I am also a vessel, you know? So for me, I was like, yeah, some of these moments she lived. And so she was very specific with direction, and it could be very intimidating, but luckily I kind of took it as a challenge. Like, oh, we gonna get it. What do I need to? Which line? This one word needs to be like. And I love her because she's so many words, right? So she'll give me a long thing for like one sentence, and I'm like, okay, let's do it again. And I don't know if I got it, but she took it. So
Well, listen, clearly you got it because you're working and you her right now.
So, but it was a fun challenge to actually really be able to recreate for her, what she saw already. So, but that's kind of, as artists, like we thrive to do that. Even if it's hard, it's like that's why you see actors trying to do their own stunts and stuff. It's like you want to be able to go that far. So,
Yeah. Now, at any point, did you guys ever stop and say, both of you, did this really, really happen? From like the characters, like in their lives, like was there anything that you like? Did you really break up with him with this? Did you really kiss him like this? Did you really do this?
I didn't ask that, but I'm having a moment while we talking because we were talking earlier about how art imitates life and how your seer left and saw you a year later. When I saw my wife, I saw her and walked away for a year.
For real?
And then when Yasir asked Noreen in the coffee shop, and Insomnia is like, let's cut the bullshit. When I'm in the car with my wife talking for 4 hours, I'm like, yo, when I finally meet my wife, I'm gonna say, what took you so long? So so you sitting here talking, I'm just like, so I'm like, I was like, okay, that would. Yeah.
So the takeaway is, brothers, get your Mac game up. Learn how to talk for 4, 6, 7 hours. No, I'm teasing. But that is a trip that you had you've mirrored a lot of this story already.
I get cute.
See, it's been called. It's funny. I do need to say this. You asked the first step. I prayed over it because I don't know if it's. Because I've hid my life in other characters. I've done that. That's easy to do. But to be out front with it, I prayed for them. I prayed for everybody involved in this project. And so it's interesting when I said, okay, answer the call, Mara, that you were sharing this story. It's like, oh my God, that tells me it's confirmation yet again that the prayer is answered in the right people. I already know that they're right people, but you're just telling me more about why it's right. You know what I'm saying? You already know the journey. Right.
You just secured your bag for another TV show. Good
Secure
job.
that bag,
You secure the bag. You secure it, Bo. Now, to pick your person, I know people have been asking, and you said you wanted somebody that not like you, right? Looks like you physically, right? When you casted Michelle as you.
It's funny because I know this has caused some conversation as I hear the colorism conversation, but the colorism conversation was very present in the 90s, especially when our images were just making the air waves via music videos, just in the TV sitcom world. Light skin and long curly hair was a thing. It is something that we have artistically and as a community, but then more artistically, that we've been working through those issues of colorism. And so there was a moment where I thought, well, hey, does she have to look like me as long as we get the essence of her? And it's funny, I talked to Own and more specifically Oprah about it, and she's like, no, that's important, Mara. You spoke so eloquently about that. That's true. That is something of where we were in the 90s. It's okay to talk about that. And it was. And so, and some of the fun memories I have of my own husband, I mean, he did. I mean, that speech he, in essence, gives in the pilot about the light-skinned woman cutting her hair and how it aligns herself with her blackness, that was very much a way to articulate him as a character and where he's from, the Bay Area. But that was very true for Salim. That was very true. And those things I remember, he calling me light-skinned, long, curly hair, as if it was a pejorative. But it's used in love and playfulness at the time. And so it was fun to recreate that moment. And I was a little like, is he going to give me pause to talk about the colorism thing in our community? But I also feel like if we still need to talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's wring this subject out till we're not dealing with that issue anymore. You know what I'm saying? That our beauty is a range of the acceptance and beauty for across, and no one's blacker or less black as a result or any of that. So when I went back to casting Michelle, it did come with a definitive that I wanted her to be light skinned with long curly hair. That it was not just the essence of me, which is the most important qualities of the character for both characters. That's people ask what's true, what's not true. What I will say is, I think I have gotten close to 100% of the essence of us through these characters, but I have manipulated some of the facts of who we are. But the physicalness, I think, does help tell the story and accepting the story and also putting you back in that time. And let's just be honest, these are two, like you said,
Beautiful.
I mean,
gorge. The cheekbones. I don't know how you say y'all don't look. Both of you got beautiful cheekbones.
Oh, thank
and the
you.
eyebrows, everything. You, my friend, gorge. Looks just like your husband without the hat, because I don't see the hat on. Because it was one of the videos I saw, the interview, he had
yes, he always wear a hat or he's bald.
Yeah. The favorite, chocolate skin, all that. Yes, yes. I am loving it. He ain't got no taco. Does your husband have taco meat in the chest? Because he don't got none there. You don't got no hair in your
I'm
chest.
gonna keep that to
look good.
myself.
Oh, but we're getting everything else, but we don't hear about the meat.
I know. Salim is gorgeous all over. I'll just say that.
I don't understand how you could work all day, every day with each other and still, because you talked about how he could walk in the room and you still get butterflies and get excited.
I don't know what it is, but I
need this love.
I forget what he looks like. So when I see him, it's almost like I'm seeing him for the first time. He's even on FaceTime. Like, where was FaceTime? Oh my God. And I like to see what he's wearing. I'm like, oh, you look cute. You look handsome. And then I got, who's flirting with you on the set? Because I know they are.
I'm firing her.
That'll come in season 3 when they start working together.
Get out.
We had to create boundaries in those spaces. I let the extras flirt with him. And,
No.
oh, yeah. But it was funny. There's a story. There was when had this during the Girlfriends End the Game. And he's directing like all those episodes. And there was a moment where I think this, to sell the fact that Malik and, had all the girls, you know what I'm saying? We had gorgeous people on set.
Yes, you did.
All the time.
You keep a good pedigree.
And so they were, and he's the man. He's the most powerful man on the set. That's people want it. So I literally told him, I said, okay, they can flirt. They can do all that flirting all they want. Just make sure all the little numbers they slip in your hand, in your pocket. So I had this line. So here's the line. I don't want to see none of them extras down here past this line. And that's where the trash can's right here, so you can dump all the little numbers in the trash
Do
can.
they not know that you were his wife or his girlfriend at the time?
Yes, and they know I'm the boss. They don't care.
Yeah.
Stop.
They don't care.
And you didn't fire them?
No.
Oh,
here's
I'm
the
dropping
thing.
the F word.
No. If I'm worrying about that, the scripts are bad. If I'm worrying about my man cheating,
True.
scripts are bad. And if that's what he has to be, then I have a decision to make. Mm-hmm. But by giving him, but also enjoy the adulation. Why not? It's not, what does it harm me? Like you were very honest. Sometimes that desire, feeling good about yourself, I was the beneficiary. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So, but there was one time one crossed the line and he got the look and we crack up about it today. I said, did somebody cross the line? But it was just like, but it's also adds joy and fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see the man every day, all day, on FaceTime, not on FaceTime, and I think he's gorgeous. I would be foolish to think that other women are not going to find my man handsome and attractive, and because of that, I was doing ab workouts, I hike, I soul cycle. No, this is real. This is real. I keep it together because I want to be desirable. And he keeps it together. We do cleanses together. We did P90X together after the babies were born. I'm telling you, and all these things, they helped our marriage, our friendship, our business, all those things. But anyway, my point is, we have to be honest.
Keep talking. We want to hear.
Yes.
Listen, I'm in a new relationship,
Your man
marriage.
looks at a woman down the street and you gonna break up and get in a fight over that? What about why? And be proud of the fact that, and use that to laugh about. Use that to be like, feel good about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want my man. That feels good.
Of course, that's why you date him, because you wanted him, and of course everybody else is gonna want him.
So to stop and be mad about that is, now there's boundaries to that. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things that have to be discussed as a couple. What are those boundaries?
And what's beautiful about that on the man side is that when your woman can come and talk to you about drawing a line, I'm not upset about the women giving you the number. Let's just have a line. That make you want to go home even more. Because you don't, it's like, hey, I can talk to my wife about anything. I feel free in that. It's nothing, I'm not hiding anything. You know they coming, but you like, okay, cool, but I'm still gonna get me together too. Yeah. It's like, yeah. And then as a man, it feels good. Like, I still got it. Trash. Throw it in trash, going home.
Yeah.
So now we have Love Is, which you can watch it on OWN on Tuesday, 10 p.m. Am I correct?
Yes, Tuesday
10 p.m. And then you are still working on Black Lightning. What are you doing with Black Lightning? Are you a character or are you a writer on the show? I forgot.
I'm a character on the show.
Okay, character. So you're double dose working. And then what are you doing besides Love Is, honey? Because I know you're working. Because you're a theater actress as well, right?
Oh, yes. I started off in theater. I mostly just in school. I did theater in school. But I'm chilling right now. I was in a dungeon. I'm getting my life together. I'm going to do a little vacation, a little pampering.
You were on... No, not Game of Thrones. No, forget it. Continue.
No.
Because when you said dungeons, you do look like the girl that's on Game of Thrones. Did you ever get told
That's
that?
a compliment,
The
yeah.
one that cut her hair, not the mom, the girlfriend of the son. You don't watch Game of Thrones, do you? That's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
I know there's one girl with big curly hair on it.
Yeah, but then she cut it super short.
Did she?
Did
Everyone's
she?
cutting their hair after I gotta cut my hair.
Stop.
I'm mad. No, everyone is cutting their hair short. I got it all cut. I'm ready. Like, I'm about to stand out.
You
No,
already,
it's fine.
you're gonna stand
But you stand out
because you're
anyway.
You stand
Yeah,
out
exactly.
anyway.
No,
Your
it's just
smile is
funny.
Michelle
everything.
has a light in her that is just
Yeah.
beyond, right?
When she smiles, I'm just like, oh, I gotta get my teeth fixed. But yes, you are gorgeous. Gorge. How are you guys balancing everything? Like, I don't get, it's hard with social media, work, family. I mean, you're the queen of balancing, so I'm not asking you. I'm asking you, Stu.
Well, for me, when it comes to social media, I don't have any notifications that come to my phone. I get on at my leisure. When I want to get on, I get on. When I don't want to be on, I don't be on. And then after the show, I just went through my refueling stage. I'm still refueling. I'll go see Denzel in a play, or I'll chill with one of the castmates in New York, or, hang out with the wife, hang out with friends.
Michael B. Jordan, I saw that.
What
I saw on Instagram you were hanging out with him.
No, I
it
was
was
hanging
four
out
of you.
No. That's an old picture.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah,
oh, let me
Michael
rub
B
your
ain't
hand.
even know me like that then.
Very-
Only person I knew was Amari Hardwick at that time with me. Him,
Even better, Ghost, hey.
Yeah. So, well, yeah.
I just take it one day at a time. I feel like people ask me about the show, and I'm like, look, I just had 9 months of a baby in me, and it's getting delivered. I can read all the books I want, but until I look that baby in the eye, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And that's kind of how I feel about the show. I was like, let's just take it one day at a time. I don't know how people are gonna respond. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, but just live,
Yeah, well, know that everyone is loving it. We're loving it, and we want more and more and more. Tuesday, 10 p.m. on OWN. It's been a pleasure, mi gente. Thank you so much. Que Dios me lo bendiga hoy, mañana y siempre, which means may God bless you today, tomorrow, forever. Deuces, we're out.
Dios te bendiga.